on the One Play platform. You on Hello Port Harcourt, just won money. So we'll do that 2 times today. So about 10:50 a.m. we'll have our first draw, and then by 11:50 a.m. later this morning we'll have our second. But for now, let's get to our conversation starter this morning. Now, I'm sure within the past 7 days or so, you had caught, right, the story about the problem with CBEX, the cryptocurrency platform. It was meant to be designed to be an exchange platform that eventually folded up, and a lot of Nigerians, were commenting and complaining that they lost money. And now, if you follow that story on social media, a lot of people are like, there wasn't a lot of empathy for the Nigerians, and I'm not quite sure why, right? But our conversation is not about why they fell for those schemes, if you want to call them schemes, because they were honestly trying to make money without, as it were, carrying guns and harassing people on the street. But my question is this: should marketers, influencers hold more blame in the failure of a business? Now, you can categorize media platforms, television, radios, the newspaper, talking about the print media as well, because, sometimes, they will, offer their platform for advertising of products and services. That's primarily what we do. That's the basis of how money is being made, except if it's a privately funded enterprise. But here's the catch. Now, I know there was a story a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, that involved this particular brand, this particular station, Nigeriainfo. It's because of you people. And we started to have a disclaimer. Look, yes, the platform is available for you to use, right, to listen to information and blah, 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 blah. And that's why we play our disclaimer. Look, do your research and all those type of things. In fact, I'll say this, that we even went a step further. And some people who are going to be listening to this now, they may not like what I will say, right? But I do know personally, right, that over the years, particularly in the past, I'd say 5 or 6 years, that we have turned away some businesses, some people who wanted to, invest heavily, on the platform. Oh, want you guys want to sponsor, and we tend to say, no, we are not quite sure of you. I'm sorry, we really don't have, any information as to how well, organize your system, is particularly when it comes to, financial services. It's different when someone says, oh, I have but I'm fish, I'm selling in my 2 market. Come to my shop. If you go there, it's not there. Well, you go there, nobody will come again, nobody take you seriously. But when you ask people to put money, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission has warned influencers, bloggers, and celebrities to desist from promoting unregistered investment schemes or risk legal consequences. And this is where we're narrowing down, right? What people call legacy media, that would be radio, television. A lot of people say these people are controlled by the government. And so these days, influencers, bloggers, vloggers, podcasters, they are some of the go-to areas for some businesses to promote their services or their goods. Take, for example, the telephone, the smartphone industry. Almost every single major player in that industry, before the release of their phone, will give it to select influencers, select bloggers to talk about their device. They pay huge monies for these things. One of such individuals actually received a product that he doesn't like. The company knows, he has said it before, I don't like this company, I don't like their products. The company still sent him, say, take this 100-inch television, watch it. Tell the people how it is. They still pay. But here is where the problem is. So if Jude decides to buy that 100-inch television because one of my favorite online influencers had it, even though he said, this Stephen Abbas, I don't like him. But because it's a 100-inch, and maybe the price is cheaper than the one Sam Oracle who makes in his backyard, for example, and he tells me that television is worth 2,000 naira, and this guy's television is 1,500 naira. I will pay the 1,500 and try it. Why? Because I have seen someone use it. It's the power of suggestion. That's the honest truth. But if that TV now spoils after like 3 weeks, will I go and hold that marketer, that blogger responsible? Should I? Because some of you don't know this. This CBEX you just heard is one of the very many that have happened or that has happened in recent years. Some of them you don't even get to hear the light of day. Those of you who are traders on the cryptocurrency, you've probably heard of pump and dump schemes. Oh, go and buy this coin. They'll be on X especially. Right? You see so many comments. This it will rise. And people put money after like 2 or 3 weeks. It's rising. 2 or 3 months. It keeps on rising. Then somebody else say, it's like this man is pulling out his money. Boom. It crashes. But you paid. You put money inside. Whose fault? Oh, Elon Musk did it a while ago.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
So, should influencers, bloggers, marketers, promoters, should they hold more blame in the failure of a business? So let's say the business crashes, and there's so many reasons why a business should crash. Hey, come and buy eggs from Jude's Eggs Factory, for example, and then if you invest 100,000 naira in another 3 or 4 months, you should be able to get another 130,000 naira. But the farm, let's say the farm catches fire, or all the birds die from avian flu, for example, would you blame, Sam Oracle because it was the one that told you, please, this farm is going to make sense. They are giving the chicken correct food. Trust us now. It's only the ripest of plantain from Bayelsa that we used to feed our chickens. Now, you will get your money back. So what if I don't? Do I hold Sam or do I hold Jude? 08179230002, 08179230003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp is 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. As always, please do well not to call the WhatsApp and Telegram number. All right, just call in and let's have a regular conversation, please. All right, so straight off the bat here, it's got my new phrase these days. But Ike says, Drew, good morning. This question here, who do you really blame? Is it the man who's looking for a way to try and make money cleanly? Or is it the person who also trying to make money by marketing another product? Let's be honest, most of those marketers are also in it to try and make money themselves. And so I would blame the owner of the business, not even the marketer, if any business folds or crashes. Ike is saying, Ike raises a very interesting point there. The marketers themselves, right? They are doing so because they too want to have money. I don't know how many of you have ever gone to an interview and you find out that interview is for a marketing position. I have. It wasn't funny. 9.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go on, please. I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. This is Lugaman from here.
All right, Lugaman. A minute.
Yeah. First of all, I want to just report to you what is happening in my location.
Lugaman, can you send us a message on WhatsApp, please? Do you have a WhatsApp number, please?
I will not on eyewitness report.
Today's Tuesday. Look, man. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes.
Eyewitness report.
Yes, on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday. All right. Thank you. Yes. Yesterday was Easter Monday, by the way. So there was a public holiday yesterday. So maybe that's why he got that, the day mixed up. Today is Tuesday. All right. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow is our eyewitness report. And we're looking forward to getting your stories. But let's take a quick break. When we return, more on the conversation starter this morning. We're talking about business, Abi. Who do you blame? Do you know the business? The person told you about the business? And now my question is, should marketers, influencers, should they be held more culpable? Should they have more blame when a business goes under? Is it they, or is it the managers of the business themselves? Because people who manufacturers, for example, of certain products that have gone under, right? Would you blame them? Or would you say, oh, is this stockbroker that told me to go and invest my money in Okoronkwo's business? Now, the business is bankrupt. The dividends I bought, I spent money in stocks. Now, is worth almost nothing. I spent almost 2,000 naira a share. Now, they're telling me the share is worth 18 naira. I thought 2,000 naira. And by the way, what I just described happened to a lot of Nigerians, right? Nobody, came up on the streets to start shouting. And that's the truth. Some of you who are listening to me, particularly those of you who are, in your 60s or 70s, about 2 or 3 decades ago, you probably bought stocks in some banks. You probably bought stocks in some of the IOCs, right? You probably even bought stocks in some Nigerian business that promised, returns over a lengthy period of time. And don't get me wrong, investing in stocks is a great way to grow wealth, right? But you were influenced. And back then, stock brands were a big deal, particularly for those of you who have visited Lagos. They were a big deal. Oh, no. Okay, you see, invest this money. See, buy these stocks. See the stocks now, in the last 6 months now, if you don't jump like maybe 10 or 40%, and by the time dividends come out, you don't make your money. Yes, there's nothing wrong with stocks. But we've seen banks crash. We've seen the value of some of these IOCs plummet. I like to look at the financial papers every morning, and if you look at the SEC, they'll tell you bullish run, bearish run. Some of those terms a lot of us do not understand, but basically you'll find out people who invested in one popular bank about 5 years ago, when their dividends come through, you're like, what is this? What is this? It was a legitimate investment. Were they greedy? I don't know. But now that the stocks are not worth their value in any paper right now. Yes, because some people bought stocks that time 400, 500 naira. Those stocks are worth 10 naira, 20 naira in some cases. So they're paying dividends. Instead of seeing 200,000 naira they were dreaming of 10 years ago, they're seeing 2,500 naira after almost 8 years of investment. Whose fault? Is it the marketer? Is it the influencer, the blogger, the stockbroker? Or is it the company itself?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Nigeriainfo Nigeriainfo, good morning to you. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, this number called me last night. I don't know his calling.
I'm sorry?
This number called me around 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock last night.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't know. This is Nigeriainfo, please.
Sorry. I know this thing.
Oh, did you try your hand at the one play?
I tried.
Oh, and they called you, did not answer. Sorry, Pele. Don't worry, there's still more time. Don't worry. The one play giveaways are not done yet. Yeah. That was been during the extra time show, the sports guy. So the one play raffle draw is on Nigeriainfo. It's on Hello Port Harcourt, and it's also at extra time. So this morning, keep getting your tickets. Once again, if we call you, nobody answers. That's all I can say. Now, good morning, Jude. Thank you for reactivating these issues of celebrities backing heinous businesses. I don't know what names. Rax was sponsored by one of them, including one popular female. Until the scandals like Cibex, she was still waxing stronger. Even recently launching a new house, and common people are always the losers. Bassi says. JJ is on the line from Rumigbo. JJ, good morning to you.
Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Jude, there was something that happened some time ago. A girl that was suffering from, I think, cancer or something, was taken to the hospital in Nigeria here, and the doctor said the girl will not survive. Right?
Interesting.
And the family people draw contact to one celebrity, I've forgotten her name, who made promo for GoFundMe.
Okay.
And in less than 24 hours, they were able to raise the money for India and all those put together. But the family people didn't inform the celebrity that the doctor said they shouldn't go anywhere because definitely she would die. Right? And at the end of the day, in Nigeria here, or North America, at the end of the day, they flew out to India, and the Indian doctor also confirmed that there's no remedy. Right? And people who raise money for this girl's survivor begin to quarrel the celebrity. That, look, you have, how will I put it now, deceived us and collect our money for your own personal use. Jude, how will you explain that? Because at the end of the day, just like me, you call me JAJ that I'm a celebrity, that you have a restaurant that deal is snail. I don't eat snail. I've not eaten snail since I was born. Now I'm not the one advertising that if you come to use corner to come eat snail. How do you see that? Meat where you know the shop, not use it, divide them. So if you must be a celebrity and the one that wants to promote a product or a program, you should also involve and get the nitty-gritty of this product so that you don't become a victim.
Okay.
I think they should be held responsible, not fully,
Not
but
fully.
partially.
Okay, no, but that's the question. So, how much blame should more blame? Because like the example I gave with stocks, JJ, about 10 or 15 years ago, plenty Nigerians invested in stocks. So much so now that the SEC is even saying, look, if you bought stocks and you've never collected dividend, put your name on this. There's this website that they have. Check your name. If your name come on, your stocks there, your dividend there, come and collect it. Because people invested 1,500 naira those days. Those stocks, they are now worth 50 naira. Whose fault is it?
Jude, let me tell you. You, the celebrity, you are looked upon in the society. And probably these people met you to just collect that your, how will I put it now, that your influence to promote what they know will collapse at the end of the day. Don't you know that people go to prison for promoting stock that are not true in the advanced world?
They call it insider trading.
For so many stock and all those put together. So if you don't want to stake your reputation and make nobody grab your shirt for Rumokoro for deceiving them into a stock you know nothing about, please back out. No question.
Okay, all right, JJ, thank you very much. JJ says back out, right? That you are culpable. But is it the case? We've seen credible, and I mean very credible businesses go under. Let me give you one, all right? Just for perspective. Now, in the late 1990s, right, as the turn of the century was with us, and in fact, at the start of this century, that's the 21st century that we're in right now, Nokia was one of the biggest companies on this planet. It was a Fortune 500 company. Nokia were turning out phones every 3 AK market days. Their designs were daring. This was the golden age of smartphone design. These days, everybody just releases a rectangular box. Those days, you have phones that look like apples, that look like oranges, that look like pears, some look like boomerangs, some look like guns. They were doing any and everything to capture the market. If you had bought stocks in Nokia as at 2000, and in 2005 or 2007, right, you had to sell your stocks, you'd have been a millionaire. Nobody would have told you otherwise. If you had bought stocks in BlackBerry back in 2009, just 2009, by 2012, you would have been a millionaire. But this is 2025. BlackBerry, nobody hears about BlackBerry any longer. Do you? Do you see their phones anywhere? Nokia's, they're trying to come back. They're being managed by another company. If I had money in Nokia at 2005, who would I blame? My stockbroker for putting my money in Nokia? God's time's on the line from Onega. God's time, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, the case, what you are actually treating this morning is a very pertinent issue. In the sense that some persons have been defrauded because of the belief they have in their favorite celebrity. I wouldn't want to mention any celebrity name, but we heard some coin, this celebrity coin, that coin, and the rest of them. But those coins collapsed. Who do we hold responsible? Those is not the celebrities that advertised it and said it was their coin. You talked about stock. Yes, then stock was the major wave. People were investing in stock. That was a way of saving money, kind of.
True.
In those days, I can still recall how my father invested heavily. But to the amazement of us, the recent publication made, as you said, it wasn't something to write home about compared to the figure as of then and the figure as of now. The monetary then is quite valuable than this moment. But you discover that the changes didn't actually reflect. I think the advertiser should also be liable to anything that happens. But you cannot advertise the product you know nothing about. It's just like me now waking up to say, oh, Gary is the best. Why I don't take Gary? and I'm advertising Gary. Don't you know that if at the end of the day some persons eat Gary and fall ill or possibly another thing happened to them, I should be held responsible for advertising Gary that I didn't make? What about those who advertise phones that wouldn't worth anything? At the end of the day, you buy the phone, you discover that those phones are not worth it. I think you shouldn't just go into the market to advertise what you don't know.
Yeah, but Ghost Time, is it the fault? Is it really the fault of the promoters, the influencers, the celebrities? Is it really a fault? Because don't forget, they are only told by the manufacturers that this phone, for example, it go work like this. If they press it like this, it will shine like this, and so that's what they tell you. The promoters, for example, don't know what the amount of nits refers to in phone technology. They may not know that this phone, for example, the panel that they use is low quality panel, and so after a while it will melt. They are only to promote it. That's their job, and they did their job well. So why would you hold them responsible?
Jude, that is the angle I want to expatiate on right now. Jude, when you went on interview to be employed to Nigeriainfo, you were interviewed. They asked you about your competency. They asked you about what you can do. Can you work under pressure and the rest of them? You answered, and there was physical verification and the rest of them. You passed through, and now you are working on Nigeriainfo. If you weren't competent, can you remain in Nigeriainfo today? You can't. That is the major reason why you should hold these people responsible. You don't advertise. See, so many persons are investing millions. I don't want to mention a scheme. I invested millions of naira and I got nothing, not even a dividend. I was coerced into it by someone, and that person assured me with his or her life they will die. At the end of the day, nothing happened.
Hope he did not die.
So we should be careful. Nigerians don't have. So investing the little we have, we shouldn't put it in a place where it will yield nothing. That is my point. So
okay, all right. Sorry about that. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Now, the sincerity in the part of the marketers will always determine the process of any given business. Fidelis, that's the thing. There are some marketers who sincerely, like I said earlier, they want to make as much money as possible. It's their business. It's their business to present this product. It's their business to promote this service in the best way possible. If they do their business and that particular company goes on, is it their fault? Yes, we can hold, or maybe like the SEC is saying, that some of these promoters, some of these influencers would be liable, if they promote companies or businesses that are not properly registered. But ladies and gentlemen, we have seen scenarios where properly registered companies still go under. Whether it's here in Nigeria, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in the US, they all go under. Businesses go under. For a plethora of reasons. Nissan, the company that has made some of the best driving cars in the world, for the better part of at least 60 odd years, right, are facing serious financial turmoil. So much so that sometime last year, they were to merge. They had planned a merger with Honda. That merger did not come through. They were pursuing their former CEO. He was a wanted individual by Interpol. Do you know what it is for one of the wealthiest CEOs on this planet to be looked for with torchlights by Interpol? People invested money in Nissan. People did. And for those advertising companies or some of those promoters, some of those influencers who would drive a Nissan and say, oh, the Nissan Murano, this guy that. I agree. Some of them outrightly lie. Some of these companies pay promoters to lie about their products. That's the fact. But if a marketer doesn't know that the parts in this vehicle, for example, are not very well made, and he reviews the car. Obviously, the car is brand new. He go walk. He's done reviewing the car. It tells you, look, for what I can see, this is a produce account. So if you want to buy, why not? Invest your money in there. And then you buy after like 6 months, there's a leak inside the engine. Would you hold the promoter, the influencer, the automobile, the car journalist? People like Jude will tell you, don't buy this car because I have read that this car, is it my fault that information that was given to me have passed across to you? 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. All right. We have Boniface on the line, but let me quickly read this message. Good day, Jude. I remember a few years ago when so many of us, including me, fell victim to the villa. Buy plenty plots of land and get one free. At the end, court cases and I got fed up. I lost the land. So many people also lost their land. Barry with that comment. Boniface is on the line from MOA. Boniface, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Boniface.
Yes, I have just a little contribution to make. Unlike what you just said now, one thing in life is that we have two things. And these two things is either advantage or disadvantage. When a company is advertising for something, sometimes you, who is advertising it, you may not know the kind of product the people sell. Sometimes too, they tell you, you even advertise it and you will not even go into it. Then sometimes, all these things happen just for them to make money. But there are other ones, other people that do correct business. That is, they sell better things, they advertise, and it will last forever. So that, the two things there is either you gain from it or you lose from it. That is two things in business. So thank you very much.
All right, strictly business, Boniface says. Now, Jude, in 2000, a message on WhatsApp. In 2008, when the subprime housing market crashed and birthed a recession, many stockbrokers and investment bankers died. In New York, they were leaping out from their office windows. Offices were on the top floors. In London, they were doing something similar. Some were shooting themselves, or they go to the rooftop of a restaurant and jump down. It got to a stage in London where restaurants were not allowing anyone go to their rooftop because they were genuinely afraid that the person who looked normal was just going there to throw himself down. Stockbrokers and investment bankers invest other people's money. All these people were hurting themselves because they lost other people's money, not just their own. Celebs should be held responsible for their involvement in certain dodgy deals, depending on the wordings that they use in their ads or sponsorship deals. That's from Anonymous. Okay, so this gives us a better perspective, right? So, like this person is saying, celebs should be held responsible for the involvement in certain dodgy deals. That means there are some deals that are dodgy. They don't sound quite right. There's a lot of obscurity or obfuscation of the truth. Justice is on the line. Justice is speaking to us from Akwa Ibom. Justice, good morning to you. Hello, Justice.
I want to say that next year, I want to write my exam.
Hello, Justice. Oh dear, that line's not clear, Justice. I apologize. Service provider issue. All right, this one here says, I will blame both, but more on the promoters. Promoting a product you don't or you cannot use is like spreading the news without verifying it. It's smart from Ume Bule. All right, thank you very much. Speaking of celebrities who promote, look, you all know Oprah Winfrey. You all probably have heard of, what's this white one's name? Helen DeGeneres, right? And these days, thanks to Oprah Winfrey, almost every actor or somebody who's popular now wants to have their own TV show, right? And at the peak of Oprah's popularity, how many of you remember this? She, in collaboration with a car company in the US, gave everybody in the audience in one of our shows. I don't know if you remember that story. She gave everybody a car. Everybody. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. It was big. It was a viral sensation before viral sensations became a thing. It was big. But let me tell you guys something. The cars they were giving out, let me be very honest as a car enthusiast. Those cars were not great cars. Those cars were not the Mercedes-Benz of their times or the Toyota Corollas of their times. They were not. They were cheap cars. Yes. They were good cars for you to drive from A to B and they were brand new. Fine. But were they great cars? I don't think so. So when the car will go bad, would you say it's Oprah Winfrey's fault that they gave them car? Magnus is on the line for mile 3. Magnus, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Magnus.
Thank you. Very quickly, I think I will not put the blame on marketers or influencers. I think the environment that is not friendly and government policy that is not in tandem with business. I think it is high time that government must provide every environment for business to thrive in this country. And when you come here in Rivers, the politics has taken over everything that has not allowed business to thrive. If you look at what is happening in the state, it is about politics to counter politics. And it's not allowing business to move.
Oh, that line is not very clear. Magnus, thank you very much. But I think I understand where he's coming from. If we had a fair system that was working, you were able to investigate, when business activities are going awry, and then, yes, apportion blame. I think that's what he is insinuating. Marvelous from Bori says, good morning, Jude. I personally have an issue with regards to this conversation. I can't mention this name here. I think the embassy should put a rule against exaggeration, wherein the promoters are held responsible for this act of over-talking and the brand held for putting out fake information. The truth is, most of the adverts on radio are exaggerated or said as if there are no terms or conditions. That's why I like, thank you very much, Marvelous. That's why I like those adverts you get to hear. After they tell you, oh, look, if you buy this, that is, and then they tell you terms and conditions apply. Terms, those big food and beverage companies that like to advertise every day, all year round, they're advertising. You know them, but they still advertise. But when they have promos, when they have giveaways, they will always tell you terms and conditions apply. And I think Marvelous is correct. That's why our regulators warn of over-exaggeration. The language used is very important. Now, in the case of this CBEX, for example, the one that just crashed, all right? I heard they claim that when you invest your money on that platform, you get it back in 2 months, 100%. That's a red flag. 100% in 2 months? That sounds like a red flag. If there was ever a red flag, that was probably one of them. And so that should not have even been allowed to come out. Justice is on the line from Aquarium. Justice, good morning. Hello, Justice. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, Justice.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please. Justice, okay. Can you turn off your radio set or step away from the radio, please?
I'm not using any radio.
Oh, so there's a lot of interference on your line. Go on. Let me try and make out your conversation, please.
Okay. I want to say that next year I'll be writing my jam. Is it possible, please?
Next year you're writing your jam.
Yes.
What possible?
What is it?
Is what possible?
I say, is it possible, please?
For you to write your jam next year?
Yes.
I don't see any reason why you can't write your jam next year if you buy your forms in time. I don't know the schedule for the jam.
Okay.
Please do your research. Go and ask your teachers, or go and ask from the banks. They'll tell you when, or go online and check the schedule for the JAM examinations. Okay, please. What? He doesn't know when he's writing his JAM? Okay, that's odd. That's odd. Okay, now, Jude, good morning. If truly SON of this country is working, there will be no need to look for who is to hold responsible for a failed product. To me, I will not hold the promoters responsible at all. If the producers that I will hold responsible, Sunday Emmanuel, with that comment. All right, we'll go for a quick break.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back